What's happening, y'all? This is Yogi Bronknut 719 West. I wanted to make this video tonight because I've been doing a lot of studying because I like to learn new stuff, especially about cryptocurrencies and what's going on in the world. And so I've been studying about this this big to-do that's out on, what do they call it? The AC Chain. Y'all familiar with this? Apparently it stands for Asset Collection Chain. And it's a Chinese company, and they're well funded. And what their goal is, according to the videos that they've released, and they're all over YouTube. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff about it if you want to look into this, that it's connected to the SDR. Now, for those of you that don't know what the SDR is, SDR stands for Special Drawing Rights. And this was first introduced, I believe, in like 2011. First time I heard about it was around 2012, 2011. This is about when I got involved in crypto and a little bit of metals. And anyway, the SDR was being discussed at the G20 and G8 summit meetings. And at the first one, if you remember correctly, China got upset and they left because they weren't being considered, the yuan, in the basket that what the SDR peg was going to be. So now apparently the IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, and the BIS, otherwise known as the BIS, stands for the Bank of International Settlements. The Bank of International Settlements is the super bank. It's the bank of all banks, the mother of all central banks, where essentially all the corruption starts. We're talking about the Rothschild family. They're the ones who are involved in the Bank of International Settlements. They have announced that they're possibly going to come out with this SDR and in the dollar. And look, I think the dollar, the green dollar bill, the United States dollar, is going to be gone in our lifetime, folks. So it makes sense to prepare yourself for all the different possibilities of things that could happen, and to educate yourself on blockchain technology, because it's powerful and it's moving at the speed of light. So way back in, right after about 9/11, I started getting, like asking questions like, what? These buildings just fell down? Like in an hour and a half? Because they were hit by a plane? Like, things didn't make sense to me. So I started digging into things on YouTube and on the internet, and we're not going to have that conversation about 9/11, but I'm pretty sure after you guys have seen my videos and you pretty much know where I'm at on it. But what I discovered in that process was a movie, a documentary that was made by a man named Aaron Russo. A lot of you might know of him or heard of him. He was a Hollywood movie director, and he made a lot of successful documentaries, and he made one called America, Freedom to Fascism. Now, that movie in its entirety is all over YouTube and various other places, and I encourage you to watch it because it's one thing that I just really said, wow, it messed up my whole reality of the world after seeing this, because my brain started thinking about what the possibilities really were. And in this documentary, Aaron Russo revealed that he had a private conversation and relationship with one of the Rockefeller boys. And in a private meeting, he revealed to Russo, apparently, that the world was going to go to a digital currency. Everybody would be microchipped. Everything would be tracked, from rice to roofing shingles to tennis shoes, houses, everything, gold, silver, everything would be digitized in the world. And shortly after that, he caught a quick cancer and died out of nowhere, because he was going to have this video released or in the movie theaters, and it never made it. So a lot of people haven't seen it. So if you haven't seen it, check into it. It's a long one, but it's worth watching. Lots of good information in it. But, this is something that the Rockefeller family apparently revealed to Aaron Russo, and he revealed it to the rest of the world, and he exposed their secret, their grand master plan. And they offed him, I guess. Who knows? Cancer, whatever. Anyway, I graduated high school in 1989. In 1988, The Economist magazine, which is owned and still owned by the Rothschild family. So you have to assume it's a slanted publication to begin with. They came out with their magazine cover in 1988 with a heading that says, "Are you ready for a new world currency?" I'm sure a lot of you have seen this cover. It was a phoenix, a bird, right? Kind of like rising from the ashes. And it looked like the ashes of just fiat money, just old dollar bills. And it was holding a coin, a medallion, looked to be maybe a gold coin. If I remember it right, it has a 1 and a 0 on it. Could have been 10, also could have been hash rates, could have been a lot of things. But over the years, The Economist magazine has had lots of controversial stuff on their covers. Well, this particular article in this magazine predicted by the year 2018 that the world would be introduced to the new world currency. Now, I'm not going to be a fan of this currency, and I'm sure most of you aren't either, but I want to give you some reality and some things that you need to pay attention to. There's a new coin that's kind of hit the scene, and it's called AC Chain. So the letter A, like apple, C like cat, and chain. And this Chinese company started this blockchain, and their plan is to digitize, like I said, everything in the world. So if this really is, and that duty of digitizing the SDR, incidentally, was given to the Chinese by the Bank of International Settlements, Christine Lagarde. So I think it's highly suspicious of what AC Chain is. And in their promo video, which you can also see all over the internet, I'm not going to provide links to it. If you want to find it, you can go find it. It's out there. It says, the devil uses blockchain to enslave humanity. I mean, wow. Right after you see this runner running through a triangle, you know, always known to be an Illuminati sign, passing gold coins, Chinese yuan, United States dollar, the euro, and just kind of gives you this sense that, you know, this is where it's going. Now, there's a possibility this is just an IPO, right? People trying to just pump this new coin and, you know, have this grand big plan to take over the world. But the fact of the matter is that on the IMF's website and the Bank of International Settlements, apparently there are some talks in the source code about the SDR and digitizing the SDR. So who knows what's really going on? I think it's possible, and I also think it's the way that Bitcoin can get taken down. Now, I'm not telling you go sell your Bitcoins, because believe me when I tell you Bitcoin's going way higher than it is from here. Lucky for all of us watching this. But I always struggled when Bitcoin came out, thinking to myself, was this really just a dude, Satoshi Nakamoto, right, who maybe he was a hacker and maybe he discovered the bankster's plan and he released Bitcoin the way he did, hoping that it would catch on, and the bankers scoffed at it. I mean, they did, right? I mean, they used the mainstream media to talk trash about it every single chance they can. Now they're starting to say, hey, what's up? You know, what's Bitcoin? What are you talking about? Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Bitcoin. But before, it wasn't like that, right? Why would you want to put your money in this? Blah, 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 blah. Well, I struggled between, was this really just a rogue guy, or was this a test net set up by the power elite to enslave humanity with the start of a digital currency, right? Release it, make people learn about blockchain, believe in blockchain, right? Buy, sell, trade, loan, whatever, Bitcoin. They're making money, word spreading, and they're like, that's right. Come on to daddy. Come on to daddy. Are we being played for fools? Or are we suckers is what I'm asking. So here's what I want you to think about. If over the course of time, very powerful world elite bankers have the ability to start digitizing literally everything, and they make fiat currencies, including dollars down the road, convertible to the SDR, but they also say, hey, Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is in their paperwork, are also convertible to the SDR. Now, what I see there is a big vacuum, right? Because there's going to be a lot of people like me and you that go, that's all right, man. I ain't trying to get no SDRs. I'm good holding these Bitcoins right here, the 21 million. I'm talking some old school Satoshi Nakamoto power of work blockchain stuff here now, right? That's what we're talking about. But if they're successful in doing everything, then eventually the grid gets built bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and more rules and more regulation and tighter and tighter and tighter. Same thing that they've been doing to us for years. And this SDR just becomes the way of life all over the world for the dumbed down masses. What will happen is people will start converting some of their Bitcoins over because it becomes the cash of the day, and what it's going to take for you to operate in life easily. And once they figure they got enough of it, I see Bitcoin going to zero. Now, I don't see it going to zero anytime soon. I see it actually going to 500,000, maybe in a million, but then immediately going to zero. Bankers and power elite have been in charge of this world since the beginning of mankind. And all they've done is transfer that power down to their family. And that's hard to get rid of. And they're smart, they're cunning, and they don't care about us. They care about themselves. So to think that they're going to go down without a fight is naive. Bankers don't want most of it. They want all of it. Every single penny of it. And that's exactly why we're holding Bitcoin and why we're dealing in cryptocurrencies. Keep stacking your Bitcoin. Go long. Read up on the AC Chain. Keep your eyes wide open. Stay nimble. Deleverage a little bit for gold and silver along the way. Right? Use gold and silver as a little bit of a hedge to protect your cryptocurrency wallet. Don't do the dumb thing and put them all in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Your mama told you that. And if your mama didn't tell you that, the OG Bronknuts is telling you right now. Hedge. I just want you all to stay aware of what's going on. It's hard to keep up with, and I appreciate it if anybody brings new information to me. Now, don't send me a link. Hey, check into Japanese elf coin. It's a good team. I ain't trying to hear all of that. The OG Bronknuts is about Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Steam. I like a little bit of Ethereum. I like a little bit of Sidecoin. I like a little bit of a few other things, but I'm talking about a little bit of pinch, you know, like bam. My heavy stacks are in more solid technologies. So pay attention to what's going on in this crypto coin market. It moves really fast. Get the information here direct from the OG Bronknuts from the 719 West, the crypto boss. I'm out.